All right, here we go. Me and Brianna back at it.
Woo!
Take one of one take. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is a huge day for multiple reasons, but first things first, your girl just got upgraded because I have a professional wedding planner. This is Brianna Noland, formerly Brianna Baxter, and the reason I say that so specifically is because if you are a true die-hard fan of the Clever universe, you will know that Brianna Baxter, which is what her last name used to be, started ClevverStyle.
For me, I feel like style is really personable. So style is you. I love to be just different and unique, and whatever I'm feeling that day is probably what my fashion tells people. Like if I want to be a rock star, then I'm a rock star.
And told us very famously that she would only ever come back to work with us if we gave her $5 million.
I thought it was 10.
Well, we don't have 5 or 10, but you're here.
Yay!
Okay, so as we all know, if you guys are subscribed to this channel, by the way, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe, ring the bell, get the notifications because I need to pay for a wedding. So I really need your views.
I need the budget, guys.
Brianna does need the budget, and that is what we were jumping into. So as I started like looking into wedding planning and stuff, I immediately became completely overwhelmed, and I was like, this is just gonna happen at a Taco Bell, quite honestly, because, which still sounds like a great idea for the record.
Yeah, if it floats your boat, like we could do that.
We could, but we're not going to because we have a Brianna. So Brianna launched ClevverStyle. It was not hugely successful at that time because it was just starting off. But truly, you are the reason. You are the reason. You're the foundation.
Sweet. I
you
love
are the cornerstone.
You actually, you're the sweet one that like gave a chance on me. Now I'm old and like.
Okay, if you're old, I'm in the grave. Let's discuss that later. So here's the thing. Brianna went on to get married and move back to her home state of Texas and become a wildly successful wedding and event planner. And if you don't believe me, look at some of these photos of the most gorgeous situations you have ever seen in your life.
And the most gorgeous brides, just like inside and out. We have really great clients. They're just so sweet.
Are you real? Like I'm talking about like all the vain aesthetic stuff and you're like, we work with beautiful people on the inside. I love you so much.
Oh, I love that.
So here's the thing, when I got engaged, I more or less set Brianna an SOS. I was like, I don't know what it's gonna take. I'll give you my whole bank account, but I really need some help. And you have been helping us on this journey. This is not our first time sitting down. Like we have been like
she had to interview me and make sure it was like a good fit,
I think it was actually vice versa, actually. So today's video, we're gonna kind of focus on what it's like having a wedding planner and also little tips and tricks that you can do for your wedding, things that she recommends as a professional wedding planner. You guys are gonna get some insight into what we're kind of planning on for our wedding whenever it happens, which we're very excited about. And then I also took some questions from Instagram.
Awesome.
So let's just jump in. I don't really remember our first meeting. I think I blacked out, but like what do you talk about with brides and grooms right off the bat?
Definitely important to sit down with both bride and groom with no family involved at this point.
No cooks in the kitchen.
No cooks in the kitchen just for a second. And I think it is important to like bring family in a little bit. But we sat down, you and Chris, and we just figured out what you want.
Cheers. Yucca. You're happy.
I'm like, my dimples are like hurting. I'm so happy.
Do you want it low key? Do you want it over the top? Do you want it, I love over the top.
Which brings up a really great point.
Anyways, but
tell me some of the things that on our first meeting, you were like, what do you think about this?
Okay, so, and also like if you're at, shut up. I have to get a gauge for like where you want to go.
No, you're right, and I actually loved it because I think it's like my favorite story of all time now.
Because you can do anything you want. So like if you're at home too, I feel like this is big. You guys shoot some things out to each other. Like where do you want to land as a couple? I just shot out like, your face on cocktails or synchronized swimmers or a live portrait painter. She shot them all down. She said,
see how like smoothly she just said that? Did you say synchronized swimmers? Did you mention that?
As a first dance, yeah.
And honestly, you guys, for this much time, Chris and I were both like, that sounds great. And then she also was like, maybe you guys should do synchronized swimming for your first dance. And I was like, no to everything, no to all of it. We're not doing any of it because we personally want something like really low key.
I got the vibe, and as we
went
what
vibe did you get from us?
No. I'm just kidding. You guys have a very personal vibe. You want it to be, yes, it's about you guys and your love, but you want it to be about your guests. And that's really like genuine and authentic. That's your vibe. Genuine, authentic, real.
Once you kind of like get the vibe, there's like a few things that you have to nail down right away. And the impression I got was like a date, a location, a venue. Like those are like, if you don't have those things, like you don't have a wedding,
For
right?
sure.
It's like, what do people do immediately when they're like, okay, we're ready to get married?
I feel like find where you want to go first and like the general area that you want,
Yep. Same. That's how I feel too, all the time.
I don't know what you want to do first. You just want to do all these things. Find a venue, see if they have your date available. That also lends to how long you want to be engaged. Like, is it worth it to wait 18 months because you want that specific venue? That's really big. All the vendors that are only going to be there for your wedding, like a bakery, they're going to be at multiple weddings, but your photographer is only going to be at your wedding. So if that's really important to you, base your date on that.
We kind of like have a few ideas about like where we want to get married. We know for sure we want to get married in a church. But as far as like all the other stuff, like once we've like nailed that down, like we've even started talking about like our aesthetic.
I love aesthetic.
So by the way, talk about what this is.
Go to Target, get a folder. But however you want to play. I do most of my things digitally, and since I am in Texas, we do a lot online, but you just have to have a folder to throw your papers in, and it's kind of fun. You can personalize it however you want.
She makes it sound really casual, but these paper goods are like definitely, I mean, I feel like they're scented. I feel like this is a Legally Blonde moment. Ooh.
They smell like HP ink.
Okay, so when Brianna...
Magenta.
We kind of like had an idea of what we wanted to do, and Brianna came to us with these two different mood boards. One is like super colorful and one is more like black and white vibes. So what she had us do, which I recommend for you guys, is like get a pen and just start crossing out whatever you don't like
For sure.
on any of the photos.
What you don't like is just as important as what you do like.
What do you feel like we don't like?
I feel like you don't like things that are over the top. And I know we already said that, but it doesn't feel genuine to you in your life.
So I'm not going to tell you guys which mood board we picked. You can guess in the comment section. But I will tell you that after we did this, the next things we did were like talking to florists, talking to people about food and beverage. Food and drinks are very important to us.
Experience for your guests.
Okay, let's take a bite. I don't remember what this is.
We want to have amazing food because we like eating.
Food and bev's really important because it's what your guests come to a wedding for, essentially. I mean, yes, they come for you. Sorry, brides.
How much money do you need for a wedding? Because sometimes it can be a lot more than you think you need, or you could do it for a lot less. Like, talk about that, because I think that is, like, the budgeting stuff is the hardest.
It's the worst meeting I have with my client.
And then after that, it's all uphill.
All uphill from there. I try to do, that is one of the things that I try to do first because, it's so painful. Because it's shocking. It is shocking. Big rule of thumb, 50% of whatever your budget is, whether that's $5 or $500,000, about 50% is going to go to your venue rental and your food and beverage.
And then the other 50% is just like divided up amongst what?
Your photographer, your videographer, your flowers are a really big expense. If you're bringing in rental furniture, big expense. But again, what's important to you? So like, if you don't really care about video, which I don't think that's you.
No. Everything in my life is a video.
Exactly.
Like, in case you haven't noticed, I will have a video. And the other cool thing, and I love what you brought up, and something I would encourage you guys to do, like whatever is important to you, try to incorporate like your family and friends in ways that are not gonna ruin their experience at the wedding.
Yeah.
So obviously we have so many friends who work in production or like hair and makeup and glam and all that kind of stuff. So for us, it's been really fun, like thinking about getting, well, like you, like getting friends involved in the process. It makes it so much more fun.
And you can hire somebody that you don't know, but you want to be friends with them after. I
Right,
think that's
you don't
huge.
want to like walk away and be like, I hate that person.
Hair and makeup, y'all. Whoever is doing your hair and makeup, brides, they're gonna be in your face all day long. Like them as a person as well as their artistry.
Wait, are there like horror stories about people like not getting along with their hair and makeup person?
Not in our repertoire of brides because like that's
because
the
your
advice
people
we
are
give.
beautiful on the inside
They
too.
are. No, I don't have any horror stories, but I can just imagine like, okay, so this is one of the biggest days of your life. Somebody's in your face all day. You better like them and their personality, right?
Yes, and they better have an Altoid, and I better have an Altoid Altoid because I've literally drank 15 cups of coffee. I've already like tried wedding hairstyles and wedding makeup, and I tried on wedding dresses. How big of an expense is that kind of stuff? Or is that something you can like have a friend do or something?
I think that's something that you can have a friend do. I think, but again, if that's really important to you, go for it. I'm always for the groom recognizing the person that's walking down the aisle. So you have makeup that's not totally different from something you do all the time.
It's not the day to like, oh, I'm gonna try a new clown look. Like today I'm gonna go for this like avant-garde, like Marie Antoinette look.
Just an enhanced version of like your natural self, I think, is a great rule of thumb. So if that looks like a professional makeup artist, if that looks like your sister, or if that looks like you,
exactly.
Great.
Another thing I want to point out that I know you probably won't say is that regardless of whatever your guys' budget is, I cannot advocate enough to have a friend who's super organized or a professional wedding planner get involved, especially just on the day of. Because like you were saying earlier, you don't want your mom to like miss your whole wedding because she's like
doing centerpieces.
Yes.
If they're important enough for you to trust them to do your wedding, they probably should be with you on that day, right? So it's definitely worth it for month of, day of, something so that you can really enjoy versus feeling like, I didn't do that.
What else can we tell people about my wedding right now? Like what else can we share? The food.
Food's amazing.
We definitely want to have a band, which is something that's important to us.
And that's really fun. DJs are fun too.
You told me that if there's a band, people get less drunk, usually.
I did say that. That's kind of bold maybe, but like.
No, I think it's true because like you're like dancing more. You don't have time to drink
live
as much.
music, you know? You don't want to miss live music. Sometimes when a DJ plays, you're like, I can hang out at the bar for these next 5 songs. But if it's live music and Taylor Swift comes on, I'm out. Like,
yeah,
I'm not waiting on my
drink.
drink.
Like too sloppy. Also, something else I quickly want to touch on is the traditions of weddings. Like I think some people feel very like much like they have to do all of these traditions. For us personally, like the bouquet toss, the garter thing, all that stuff, like absolutely cannot happen. There's no way I'm being involved in any of that. The bouquet toss is, if you are a woman in your 30s and you are single, like myself, and you get called out on the dance floor and you are the only person at a wedding, it's like literally the whole room is silently or not silently judging you. And it is the most demeaning experience of my life that I will not put upon my friends. Can you tell I'm passionate about it?
Amen. You can kind of choose what works for you.
And we have been choosing. And I think that's like the best theme is like do what you're comfortable with, whether it's like 3 people on an island or like 4,000 people. You had a pretty big wedding that was literally a life experience that I hold near and dear to my heart.
It was so fun. We did have a big wedding, but we've been dating for 15 years. So we know each other's sides of the family really well.
It was like an experience. It was on New Year's Eve. It was in a museum. There was like skeletons of T-Rexes.
And I had a planner.
You did?
Yep. Dubs. I had a planner.
Also, someone who will go unnamed talked me into thinking I was a part of the band, and I went on the stage at one point.
I have photos.
Oh my gosh, we should show the photos.
Yes.
I almost fell off the stage.
I wish I had video.
I slipped, and Molly Thompson's husband caught me before I fell on my face, which would have been truly a petrifying experience. So thank you.
Way to go,
so much
Chris.
to you, Chris. I want to jump into some of the questions from people that they sent in because I think a lot of them are like better than like things I haven't even thought about.
We've thought about them.
See. Yeah, you've thought about them. Okay, so Sean Weiss wants to know, I just got engaged. What's the first thing I should plan?
First thing you should plan is your date, your venue, where you want to go. Also, your guest list is a big factor into your venue because they cap. So guest list, venue, date.
Yeah, have an idea of how many people you want to invite and be ready to like potentially add more people, which is definitely happening maybe for me. Okay.
Guest list is the worst part.
It's pretty crazy.
It's horrible.
Taos DJE wants to know, for the wedding planner, what's a perfect budget for a wedding?
Yours.
Like what's realistic? Like I know it's a huge range, but like what's the minimum amount you need to like just get married? Like $500? Because I guess it depends on like how much you have to pay just for like the license and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, license can range anywhere from like $50 to $100.
You could get a friend to marry you if they get licensed online. I don't know how much that costs.
I think that's $0 to get licensed online.
Oh.
Wait, I have to go back and look at that, but you can become an officiant online.
My dad did it. My dad's married a bunch of people. Shout out to Phil. And I used to be a bartender at Outback Steakhouse, and let me tell you, the amount of weddings I served at that bar.
Really?
So numerous.
I love it.
Yep, the LA County Courthouse was right across the street, so I had equal amount of people who'd come in before they turned themselves into prison. It was a really full circle thing at that establishment.
Life.
Yeah.
Life. Budget's really hard for me to talk about, I think. Just because
it's so all over the place.
And it's so personal to you don't want to start your life married in debt because you had this extravagant wedding. Like, it's way better to stick within your budget and have a lot of love than a lot of dollars.
Oh my gosh, that is my theme. That's the theme of my wedding. Some of you have been asking, and that is the theme, because I think
let me write it down.
Something that I've really been like, I think the reason that I was never like having a Pinterest board for my wedding or like all these ideas is I'm really excited to get married and be married. I know that sounds cheesy, but I think that's why I hadn't really thought that much about like the wedding, because I was more looking forward to getting married. Now in hindsight, I wish I would have thought a little more about it.
I don't.
No, you're glad.
I'm glad because it's yours together. It's not yours as a bride. It's you and Chris's experience that you're creating.
Oh. Thank you. You're so cute.
Anytime.
Okay, let's see.
I'm here to make you feel good.
Ooh, this is a good one we have not talked about. Julia Cress wants to know yay or nay on no cell phone photography at the ceremony as a rule for guests.
Yay! Absolutely.
Same.
Absolutely. The worst thing that you can have is your photographer take this beautiful photo and all you have is this.
7,000 cell phones.
This. They'll get it later. Like,
yes.
It's so nice to be a part. The ceremonies where you're actually committing your life to each other. Let's focus for like just 2 seconds.
Totally.
That's it. I'm all for a full like no cell phone wedding.
Me too.
I'm totes over the hashtag too.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have to tell you something.
You have a hashtag?
I literally
that I don't know about?
hate wedding hashtags with my whole being. This is, you know that I'm not highly opinionated about pretty much anything. You ask me questions and I'm like, whatever, yeah. No. Wedding hashtags, just freaking get married. I've had enough of it. It's like the punniness. You know that people have businesses where they create wedding hashtags and you have to pay them money? You probably know that because you're in the wedding industry. Listen.
I'm over it.
I'm done. I'm so done with wedding hashtags.
So your wedding hashtag is going to be no wedding hashtag.
Thank you. There's not going to be one. Just freaking enjoy your life. Find the photos if you want to, but there's no hashtag. Thank God we brought that up. I'm very opinionated about it. Okay, so next question is, from McKenna for your something, Lolo. Color schemes, how do you pick them?
Go to Pinterest. This is like one of the few times I tell you to go to Pinterest. Type in color schemes, start to look like fall, winter, spring, like color palettes. So designers use them, interior design. I think pulling color schemes from things outside of weddings is awesome. So like a beach sunset, like can you create a color scheme off of that? Like a mountain, like bringing them from nature, somebody's house or whatever.
You're
like,
so creative. I'd be like, just go and find other weddings.
No, it's on. I mean, it's on Pinterest. They'll take a beautiful picture of a sunset. They'll pull 4 colors, and then you have a color palette.
I love that.
It's amazing, and then make it yours.
Next question is from Gallison something or another. What's the easiest way to save money? I think that's a question a lot of people have. Is what can they get rid of? Like, what is the easiest thing that they can like save on in general?
Floral is expensive because, and I shout out to all my florists out there. It is hard work. It's hard work.
I was going to say it's hard out there for a pimp, but like it's hard out there for a florist.
Literally.
Honestly, I could never. Everything in my house is fake.
I could never.
Keep it alive.
No. I've kept cactus alive.
You have?
3.
Oh my gosh, bless your soul.
That was 6, it was only 3. You can save money on an exit card. Don't do an exit card. You can save money on not doing a late night pass, which is food at the end of the evening. You can save money.
People can get their own drunk food.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No favors. Don't waste it.
So glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Favors at weddings. I went to a gorgeous wedding recently where not a single person at my table picked up their wedding favor. I don't even think they knew it was a wedding favor because it was kind of like weird looking.
Yep.
I felt so bad because I was afraid the bride would see. I took all of them in my purse because I was like, this is like a lot of money wasted right here.
Yeah.
A lot. Like
For
wedding
sure.
favors can be like probably thousands of dollars.
They can be very expensive, especially if you're trying to do something that people really want. They can be really expensive. So just give them a signature cocktail. Do something else.
Give them a hug. That's what I say. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Okay, this is from my friend India Batson, who's also on YouTube. She's engaged as well. We love you.
Congrats.
She just said yes to the dress with TLC on that show.
Oh, fun.
She said timeline of when you do everything. If she's getting married like in 2 years or 6 months, like when do you start?
Back into it. There's a ton of great resources online that have a bunch of timelines, but my recommendation would be to pull 5 of those and then from that create a timeline that's yours. So that's like what I will do for Joslyn and Chris is like once the date is set and once things are rolling, I'll back into a timeline of whatever that looks like.
Actually, this is something I haven't even told you. A lot of people talk a lot about like, do you want to see each other before the wedding? I was like, yeah, we can could see each other before. Like, let's get those pictures out of the way. Again, I'm not very traditional with a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, choose your own adventure. He, as of yesterday, he's not opinionated about anything except the food.
So chill.
He does not want to see me before, which I think is so cute, right?
I'm so excited he doesn't.
Oh, he's like, I think it'll be pretty cool to like see when you just
Wait,
like.
can you see my face right now?
Brianna's so happy!
So excited about that. And I've been to 1,000 weddings, and something about when the groom sees a bride for the first time, don't look at the bride, look at the groom.
I know, I'm kind of like, now I'm like nervous, like I'm like scared. It almost makes me like, like thinking about
My
it.
hands are sweating.
It's
so I'm
crazy.
So excited.
Which
about
brings
that.
the next question, a perfect segue. Jill Amanda wants to know, how do you keep calm? How do you keep the bride calm during the hectic times?
Don't drink the day of your wedding.
At all?
Getting ready.
Oh, yeah, no. I can't do that. I'm a lightweight. I would be like wasted after like smelling something.
I think that keeps you really calm. I really do. I think that adds to the overall serenity. That's one. My second one is what didn't get done, only you know didn't get done, and your guests have no clue that there was going to be that black and white flower on the right side of the vase.
No one's gonna care.
Nobody's gonna know. There might be bigger things than that don't happen, but they still didn't know that was gonna happen. So the day of, week of, 2 weeks before, if it's not done, just okay.
The other thing about drinking is that Chris and I have already talked about, like, I love to go to other people's weddings and live my best life, but I want us to like just have like a super clear time, so we're not going to drink very much at all, and I'm only drinking clear liquids. Because if I'm going to wear a white dress and I'm not spilling Merlot on it.
I didn't really drink that much of my wedding. I didn't have time.
You're too busy talking to people.
You're too busy, but I made the mistake one time of telling your bride that you couldn't get drunk at your own wedding because there wasn't time, and she was like, I challenged you on that on accident, and I was like, oh, sorry. So I don't tell people that anymore because you can. Regardless of what choice you make about drinking on your wedding day, like you guys have already talked about it, that's good.
Yeah, I think as long as you guys are on the same page, that's
cool.
all that matters. Oh, Ulysses wants to know, when is the wedding? When is the wedding? When is the wedding? When I know, you'll know, Ulysses. I'll send you the first message.
Save the date, Ulysses.
Oh, this is a great question from Afnan15. Maybe for those of you guys out there who are thinking about doing wedding planning as a career or event planning, how did you get started with your business? What kind of jobs did you have to get to where you're at now?
So weirdly, like production with Clever was huge because it's organization. My biggest thing, don't jump into it. Shadow people that have been doing it for a while. I shadowed my sister-in-law for a long time. You guys, she's the most talented human being I've ever met in my entire life.
And she's getting married soon too.
Yeah, she is. And she's a leaps and bounds planner. Like if you really want advice, go talk to her. Because if you don't shadow, something's gonna go wrong at every wedding. That's just like nature of the business. But it's how you handle it. So cliche. Don't take somebody's biggest day of their life and be like, I'm gonna try this wedding planning thing. Don't do that.
Okay, well, I feel like we answered so many questions. Do you feel like there's anything we didn't touch upon?
Probably.
Most likely there is, but you guys hit the comment section.
Yep.
Also, amazing news, Brianna is on YouTube as well. So head over to her channel and subscribe because you're gonna be posting a lot of amazing content, hopefully surrounding this world and some other incredible topics. I am her biggest fan, so basically you should be also. And not only to mention that, this angel of a human is planning my wedding, so let's support her because I need her to be happy.
Make me happy. Love you.
Any closing thoughts, Bri?
Get married.
I will.
Enjoy it.
I am. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, please be sure to subscribe to Brianna's channel, subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, we're going to have a whole lot more going on. Brianna's going to be creating a ton of amazing content. Some of it might even be from behind the scenes on someone's wedding.
Maybe.
My wedding. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care what she does. Anything she does is amazing, and I'm totally supportive of it. But seriously, subscribe to her channel because I'm really, really excited about what you're going to be doing.
Thanks, Fran.
And honestly, we have you to thank for the channel that is ClevverStyle.
That's so false.
And basically like my whole career. So thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. This video's over. Goodbye. Ollie's getting ready to plan his wedding. Brianna hasn't planned a dog wedding.
Are you gonna be the ring? I think you could be the ring bearer. Hey, Ollie, will you be really chill and do what your mommy says to be the ring bearer? You'll walk right down to her. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to get paid.
Do you just want cookies?
He wants a payday and steaks.
Do you just want
He can be my bartender.